Hey guys, Ryan here. And have you ever watched some clip or some top player play some Warzone and have you ever thought to yourself, why don't my lobbies look like that? And that's what I'm here to explain and the whole purpose of this video. First things first, a lot of people just don't understand how a VPN works. They think that if I'm queuing up from, let's say, Nigeria, that means I'm actually going to be playing on Nigerian servers. And guys, no, that's not how it works at all. And we can prove this by taking a quick look at my ping on my very first game with the VPN. And this is where I want to explain how a VPN actually works. Normally, when you go to queue for a game of Warzone and you hit that queue button, what's going to happen is going to factor in two things: skill-based matchmaking and your connection. But supposedly, when you run a VPN, when you hit that queue button, it prioritizes connection over skill-based matchmaking. And now that I've explained how a VPN is supposed to work in theory, let me talk about if it actually works. First things first, I wasn't the only one who tested this, and I asked my friends specifically to tell me if they noticed it.
If you feel like the lobbies are easier, be like, yo, Ryan, this feels easy, so I can implement it into the video.
Now, all jokes aside, I did ask them to give me their opinion after we ran 2 days worth of games with the VPN on and off. And at first, this very first game you're going to see footage of, it felt like it was working, guys. But after that, I just couldn't really conclusively say I noticed a difference. And this is where I'm going to get a ton of people probably saying, well, yeah, Ryan, I watched your other videos, you play in bot lobbies. And this is something that frustrates me, guys. I'm a 3.5 plus KD player, so what do you think would happen if I were in a 1v1 with someone who had a 1.5 KD? I would make them look like a bot. If you want to play in my lobbies, you can gladly add me. I'll give you my Activision ID. We can run some games and you can tell me if these are bot lobbies. The other thing is, whenever I play with my friends, guys, they've always told me, Ryan, your lobbies are noticeably more difficult than when I play without you or when we run duos or trios without you. And in fact, that's why I thought it would be perfect if I did this whole test while playing with them, because they would know, as well as myself, if we were actually in different lobbies. And so what I did is we played a total of 10 to 15 games. I'm not sure the exact number, but it was double digits. It was a pretty decent sample size. It was over the course of a couple days at various times of nights. And conclusively, none of us really felt like it was working that much. And I know it would be easy to conclude then, well, the VPN doesn't work, right, Ryan? So it's not really cheating, yada yada. But no, I have a different theory what's going on here. Because when I was researching VPNs, I found 3 different VPNs that seemed to be popular, and 2 had cheaper price points at right around $7.99 or $9.99 a month, something like that. But there was another one that was much more expensive. I'm talking it was either $50 a month or maybe it was a one-time payment of $150. But regardless, there was a cheap option and then there was an expensive option. And I only tried one of these VPNs, so maybe I'm wrong and maybe there's a way better VPN out there and I just, this is a small test, whatever. But I have a theory that a lot of your favorite streamers, people like Joe, and I don't mean to shame them because I'm going to talk about that in a second, I do think they're using the more expensive VPN I just talked about, and I do think they're getting into lobbies that are significantly easier than yours, and I'm going to tell you why I think this. Because for a while, last year in Caldera, or 2 years ago I guess at this point, I was playing competitive Warzone, and I was playing a lot of tournaments all the time on Twitter and whatnot, with some of the best players, some people that plays top 4, top 3 in the World Series of Warzone, and you could look at the average KD of your lobbies back then, and what I noticed was, the KDs of those lobbies was a lot lower than mine. And they had to be using a VPN. And maybe, just maybe, that VPN stopped working in Warzone 3, and maybe it's not as simple as that. But based on what so many people can see themselves, when you watch a lot of top clips, when you watch a lot of these big players, there is a significant difference in lobbies, and I don't care what anyone says. If you guys really want to test this, what I recommend to do is this. Make a brand new account and hop into 3 games and just see how easy it feels, guys. And so what I'm thinking is there's something else that I'm missing that is probably locked behind this more expensive VPN that probably puts you in those tiers of lobby. Now, here we have to ask ourselves the question though, is a VPN cheating? And this is where I'm gonna have a completely split opinion and I can't really make up my mind. Part of me says yes, it's obviously cheating. You're putting yourself against weaker opponents that you should not be facing. However, if you're someone like Joe, I don't really care if you're using a VPN. If you guys seriously think that even with the VPN, you could put up the same amount of kills as Joe and you could play just like he does, I'm sorry, but you're probably lying to yourselves. You are just completely underestimating how good someone like him is, all the time he had to put in to get like this, and everything about his skill level. And just to clarify, guys, Joe is very open about his want and his use of VPNs, and I don't think it's something that we should shame him for. I understand if personally you feel like it's cheating. For me and my content, it doesn't make sense, guys. My content is not being an entertainer, but Joe is. My content, on the other hand, is primarily coaching content. It's to help you pick the right loadout, pick the right gun, to help you use the right movement, to adopt the right strategies, etc, etc. My goal of my videos is to help you get better. When you watch Joe, some of his videos have that point, but a lot of it's just to be entertained and enjoy what you're watching. So if the point is to entertain people, well, you probably want to do something and have it be set up in a way that's going to be entertaining to watch. For me, if I'm going to be focusing on coaching content, I probably should be having coaching content and playing people that are not quote-unquote bots, and probably shouldn't be using a VPN. Now, I'm not going to lie, sometimes I look on Twitter and see these people dropping 50, 60 kills, and I'm watching the clips like, dude, if I could play with people like that, I'm going to drop 50, 60 kills. But I also know it'd be pretty cool if I just dropped a 40 or 50 bomb in my own lobbies. Now, the other thing, guys, that I have to talk about here is a lot of this is going to be confirmation bias, because in any lobby, it's going to be made up of a bunch of different skilled players. So if you look at my squad right now, I am a super sweat 3+ KD player who's just, you know, I am pulling out all the movement, I'm using meta weapons, and I'm going to die, and you can spectate my teammate Brando, and he has no problem with me saying this, but he's an average player, guys. So even within my own team, within this own game and this whole lobby, you're going to have some people that are really, really sweaty. You're going to have some squads that are really, really sweaty. And then you're going to have some teams that aren't. You're going to have some players on the same team as sweaty players that aren't that sweaty. So what I think happens is people run into that 1 or 2 squads that are full with the sweaty player, or they run into someone like me who's dropping 20, 30 kills, and they're saying to themselves, dude, this lobby's so sweaty. My lobbies are so sweaty. When I watch people play, they're running into the bots. But you're not thinking about all the times that you actually run into bots. Because look at my friend Brando right now. He would have no issues with me calling him an average player. But look at him, guys. He is an average player. He looks way different than me. Actually, he's an above average player. I do gotta be honest. My friends are definitely above average players. They are not the like 0.7 KD boomer dads. These guys are pretty good. They're definitely above average. And look at them. But there's a distinct difference between someone who's above average and someone like me who's a super sweat. There's just a vast difference in the way I move, the way he moves, everything. And that's my point. If you ran into my squad and you got killed by me, you'd think your lobby's super sweaty. But if you ran into him, you'd probably think it's not too sweaty. He's a good player. He has 12 kills in this game. But you wouldn't think he's a super sweat like myself. And that's what I mean. A lot of this is just confirmation bias. And a lot of your lobbies are just going to be luck, guys. Anyways, guys, it's been Ryan. I hope you have a good day. Peace.